What's up, everybody? Welcome to my living room / kitchen. Stay tuned to the end of this video to hear the story about how I got that mug. Anyways, how's everybody doing? Today, the title, it's not clickbait. We are giving away cameras and cash because our next round of creator grants just opened up. You may recall about 2 months ago, we made this video. All right, so you might be asking yourself, what is the Moment Creator Fund? Well, let me go put some money in the car wash thing and I'll tell you about it. Where we partnered with Peak Design and Fuji to give away 5 Fuji X100Vs, Peak Design limited strap, and $500 cash as our first round of creator grants. So thank you, Peak and Fuji, for being involved with that, supporting creatives. The creators that made those projects, all 5 of them, you will see and hear about some of their work later on in this video. So now today we have a fresh grant that just came out of the oven, ready for all of you. We have a grant sponsored by Sony. We're giving away cameras. Wandered is also involved, and Tiffany Wynn, who is a photographer who we actually recently did a lesson with. She's amazing, landscape photographer, and this grant is all about empowering female creatives. So because of Sony, thank you so much. We are giving away 5 Sony A7 III kits to you. We are giving away Wandered bag. We're giving away $500 cash to each of these creatives. So we have a lot of gear going down on this. Hey guys, Editor Caleb here. I forgot to mention earlier that each recipient also gets a private mentorship session with Tiffany. That's pretty cool. Also, comment below what you would do with 500 bucks. This is sick. This is really sick. There's my dog. So this time around, this whole grant is to empower female creatives. So all grant recipients, all 5 of you, are actually gonna be female, which is amazing. We totally believe in empowering female creatives here, and we are excited to partner with these brands and with Tiffany to make that happen. But Caleb, I'm a guy and I wanna be a part of this grant. Guess what? You actually can by sending this link and the link to the grant to your favorite female creatives and helping them out, spreading the word, getting this out to more people. So we're excited to share this grant and get 5 females hooked up with some gear and with some cash and with some lessons knowledge. So speaking of female creators, let's give one of my favorite female creators a call. What's up, Taylor? Do you want some cash and a camera?
I mean, I don't know why I'd say no to that.
Are you using the Cine Bloom filter?
Heck yeah.
Lucky, I don't have one yet.
A huge thank you to Sony, Wandered, and Tiffany for making these creator grants possible. This is going to be so cool. And to all of my fellow female creatives out there, I encourage you to apply for this. All you have to do is follow the link below, and that is where you'll be able to submit a quick, short 1-minute video explaining the project you'd like to do. Be sure to keep it under a minute because we want to give everyone a fair chance, and if the videos go longer than that, we just don't have time for that. So keep it sweet, keep it short, and also make sure your social media accounts are public so we can see them when we access those. So now that you know about this new grant, let's take a look back and see what previous recipients of some of our grants have made. As you watch these videos, be sure to note which one is your favorite and why, and then comment below and we will be picking our favorite comment to win $200 cash to the Moment Shop. So stay tuned. Peace.
My Moment Grant project is called Young Love, or Young Chung. It's a memoir of garden to table recipes that I learned from my grandmother and my grandfather, who grow everything that they eat out of their backyard.
My project is about the beauty of diversity amongst humans. So in this project, I wanted to portray families where the parents have their roots in different parts of the world. Me myself being kind of the product of parents from different countries, this is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time.
And this project is called Home Again, which really focuses on capturing my family, because this is the first time in 8 years that all of us have been home. So I've been quarantined with my family since March, and so this is the first time that all of us have been under one roof.
My project is about carry on the legacy which to me it means keeping all the beautiful parts of any tradition alive. Specifically, I want to be able to carry on the legacy of Kurdistani's traditional clothes and preserving its historical places such as the 5,000 years old Erbil Citadel, which is designated as one of the oldest heritage sites in the world.
This project is called Padayon, a vernacular word which means to move forward. It is a documentation of the current daily life here in Cebu, Philippines. It shows the resiliency of the Filipinos amidst this pandemic. It's like slowly moving forward into the light from the darkness of this crisis.
So this project actually started about a year ago when I discovered a couple of old film albums that were full of memories of my family when my mom was a child and my grandparents were teenagers. That really opened a doorway for me to start questioning my past. Part of what I've been doing in the last year is digitizing all of these different memories. The second sort of layer that I was exploring with this project was through cooking and reimagining recipes that I've learned from my grandmother. It was a really interesting dynamic to be shooting as I was cooking because photography for me is the exact opposite of that. I am an absolute amateur. It was like learning an entirely new language. But what was great was I got to kind of use the sort of flow that I have when I'm cooking and integrate it with having the camera on hand as if it was an ingredient. One of the hardest or the biggest challenge for me was to just quiet the imposter syndrome and just get the work done. There's a lot of photos that I was working with that are very small in format. There's a lot of details that were getting lost in translation, and I was about to just backlog a bunch of these sort of materials as things that I couldn't work with until I kind of whipped out the macro lens and started experimenting with how I could bring out a couple of the details if I just looked at it in a different way. I think that's what I would really love to inspire in people who check out the project, is to question, you know, where their food or where they come from. In a way, this was a very personal experience that really changed the way that I look at the world.
This is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, simply to embrace and emphasize the beauty of diversity with all its remarkable, let's say, differences. In this project, regarding the style of the photography, I wanted to blend the portraits with my usual photography style, which is more focused on shapes and architecture. So I wanted to bring in the human element into this style. The most challenging aspect of this project was, well, at first, actually finding families that were willing to get portrayed and also have their portraits published online. And I was also looking for a specific type of families where you can see the clear influences from each parent in the children. Yeah, and the second challenge, well, the most dominant challenge was then during the photo shoot, posing all the family members and working with 3, 4, 5 people all at the same time. Because I'm usually used to working with maybe 1 or 2 people, but not 5. And sometimes while trying to put my vision that I had into reality, I was actually struggling posing the people at the same time. This project actually reminded me that I really like working with people in photography. I found the whole process around the photo shootings with brainstorming ideas, location scouting, and then also shooting with people really enjoyable. So that's something that I definitely want to explore more in the future. And yeah, I have one big homework, which is learning how to pose people.
I wanted to focus on capturing, you know, all of us being back home and capturing the aspects of my home. So I wanted to focus more so on how do you capture the actual interactions, right? How do you create a mood from home instead of trying to create this, you know, beautiful set or go on a location, work with models like I usually do with a lot of my projects. I wanted to be inspired to just create from home, create and capture day-to-day living, the things that I overlook on a regular basis, and how can I create art from that? And so that was the premise behind Home Again, and I'm really excited to share this project. I'll probably turn it into an ongoing series because it's really inspiring to just capture, you know, our day-to-day lives and just find ways to look at things with a different lens. This is actually my first introduction to the Fuji cameras. I've actually never owned a Fuji before. I've really necessarily shot on one. And so I think that was the biggest learning curve, was just understanding a new system. Just the opportunity to create almost like my final image within the camera was really helpful, because even though I still did some post editing in my images, I was still able to utilize the color profiles. Even the double exposure option was honestly phenomenal. I loved that so much. And then I would also say that another challenge would definitely be getting my family involved. You know, they were a bit hesitant at first because they don't want to be shot. But I would say that the actual size of the Fuji camera was really helpful because it's smaller. And so it wasn't like an obnoxious camera in their face. It was something simple. I wanted this project to show that you really can just capture what's at home. There is beauty in our homes, in our day-to-day lives, and, you know, waking up and going back to sleep or going to the kitchen to eat. There's something in the midst of all that that you can actually capture and turn into art. I really wanted to utilize Home Again to inspire others to do the same. Find ways that you can create at home and find ways that you can tell a story even in the midst of the walls of your house. And so thank you so much again for the opportunity, and I hope that you enjoyed this project.
The reason I wanted to do this project was to capture the beauty of the citadel and at the same time photographing the remaining generation that are still wearing the traditional Kurdish clothes as their daily attire. Usually when I snap street photos, I photograph the older generation as they are the one who are giving life to this tradition, and I wanted to show the importance and the beauty of it to my generation. This project is significant to me because I believe in just a few decades, if I live long enough and go out the streets, I won't be able to see people dressed in traditional clothes as much as I see it today. My grandparents still go out dressed in Kurdish clothes, while my generation only wear it on special occasions. Soon enough, this tradition could fade away without us realizing it. And this could be said about any tradition of any culture. Throughout the phases of my project, I have learned the importance of doing thorough research and planning when doing such projects. You want to be able to give justice to your subject and location in order to capture their best parts. You also want to give a good understanding about the aim of your project to your model or models so that they can give their best. I have also learned that with a compact camera like Fuji X100V, you can do great things. You don't need to have a variety of lenses. The 23mm fixed lens gave me the challenge to reveal my skills in composing my subject just by moving. And it proved to me that you don't need to have a lot of gears in order to accomplish what you're looking for in photography. So many times we might have given up in doing a project because we have convinced ourselves that we don't have enough gear. All of this boosted my confidence, and I've learned I can use my photography to promote other causes that are close to my heart.
Despite these trying times, we are given an opportunity to capture rare moments that we will surely look back on in the future. The most challenging part of this project, probably for me, is dealing with the weather. It's been raining often in my area for the past few days, which limits me to play with the light and shadow, which I initially planned to focus for this project. I discovered stories beyond the mask while doing this project, like a street vendor who lost his daily income due to the lockdown for months, yet he strived hard and found alternative ways for his family to survive. And even an old man that, despite the health risk, still continues his daily routine to feed stray cats every morning in a market alleyway.
All right, so you want the story of this Waffle House mug? I was in Knoxville, Tennessee, first time at a Waffle House. It was probably like 2 in the morning, because apparently that's when you need to go to Waffle House to have the best experience. I went there, and I was so taken back by how amazing everything was, how cinematic that place looked, and how just perfect everything about it was, that I needed a souvenir. So I asked the lady, hey, what can I do to get a mug? And then she was just like, yeah, we sell them, $5. So I just bought it.